Working Fans Podcast. Cool.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Coming down 3, 2.
Welcome back for another week of the Working Fans Podcast. This is AJ. I'm the former wrestler. We've got Dave, the ultimate fan, here with us. As we do every week, our producer Joe likes to make us sound good and makes us look way more professional than we actually are. As always, you can find us on Twitter, that's @FansWorking, Facebook, Working Fans Pod. We've got email where you can reach out to us and please contact us to let us know what you think of the podcast and for any ideas that you might have. That's workingfanswrestlingpod@gmail.com. We're on Instagram where you can keep up with us at workingfanswrestling_pod. And then you can now listen to us on all major platforms, including Anchor.fm. We're on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, and you can actually check us out on YouTube. Now, it's important when you go onto the Apple Podcasts and YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a rating, let us know what you think so you can help us out and we can continue to do what we love and bring you guys in as fans.
Well, I'm a working man here for working fans, and I'm going to tell you what is all a part of the plan. Well, part of the plan, they first not last, it is called the Working Fan Podcast. Where they get questions and they get answers. And you can't see them, but they got answers. They are the ones in the place to be. You can see them all, and all you'll see, they got the answers, the wrestling test. And they are, yes, they got to be the best. The guy got a voice of out of this world. He be rocking the girl. So I'm going to say it like this. They take him to task. They're listening to the Working Man Podcast.
It's the Working Fans Podcast with Dave, and today we got a former member of Men on a Mission from the WWE back in the day. He was the happy rapping manager, Oscar. How the heck are you, sir?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. You know, usually when I get people on, I'll ask them about how they broke into wrestling, but with you, I was kind of curious, like, how did you start rapping? Was that something you always loved, or, like, how did that come about?
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm trying to make a long story short, because that's a loaded question with a long reach. Rap started when I was in high school. It actually started when I was in high school. It started up like in the Bronx, New York, where I'm from New York, from Brooklyn. And, you know, I became a fan right away when I first heard the first rap that I ever heard. Because before there were records, the raps were on cassette. And guys used to have those big boom boxes that took 12D batteries. And they weighed about 10, 15 pounds to carry them around. A lot of people got bulked. They got bulked up just by carrying boom boxes. And you heard the likes of Curtis Lowe and Grandmaster Flash and, and Spoonie G, you know, some of the earliest rappers. And I was just a fan then. And then in Brooklyn, you know, we used to mess around with it. You know, I had one rhyme, you know, back by 1979 that I used to do. And then I started rocking at parties. So we used to have block parties outside where we set these huge booming sound systems up. And we just rock it all night. And some of us that was rapping, we would get on the mic and just rock the crowd outside until the club situation came and then the records started coming out. And I so wanted to be a rapper making records. It was my passion and my dream. Fast forward, when Grandmaster Flash and them started making records, and then Run DMC, and then they started going on tours and all that. Just fast forward in the story, that was my... If I had 3 wishes, it would be to go on tour, to make records and be a rap star. To go on tour, make records and be a rap star. Oh, and Genie, to go on tour, make records and be a rap star. I wanted it so bad. Not about the money. It was about prestige, the clothes, and especially number one, the girls.
Right.
And that's what everybody was really doing it for, because nobody thought that the kind of money was going to be generated out of this. We just wanted to be popular. I started rapping at this club later on, fast forward into the 80s. I started rapping at this club called Broadway International, and the guy was a Jewish guy that really liked me. His name was Leon, and he let me get on stage and introduce the act. I used to get booed off stage every week. Get out of here! Even through a wet roll of toilet tissue at me one time. I'd never forget.
Wow.
It's like, why you just don't quit? Why you just don't quit? Why you just don't quit? But the love of that stage outweighed the negativity until I got better. But it's not that I got better. They just, after I guess about a year, they just got tired of booing. He ain't going nowhere.
You broke them down.
He really must have let if nothing else, we ain't got to like him, but it don't make fun no more. So yeah, I went on to I did the Broly International thing, and then what I did was I went. The New York rap scene was really crowded, but my parents moved to California. I went to California where the rap scene wasn't so crowded, and my skill level 2 rap was nothing in New York, but it was phenomenal in Los Angeles because it was just breaking out.
Right.
So when you hear the names Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Eazy-E, Ice-T, I was all in that West Coast rap clique back then, where we used to do parties and all that other kind of stuff like that. Everybody branched off. And then what wound up happening was I had rap. I used to freestyle all the time. I could rap about anything on the spot. And I met a man named Norby Walters. Man changed my life. Norby Walters was an agent to every black group that was doing anything. The Stylistics, the Barry Whites, the Michael Jacksons. He was their agent. And he was coming to retirement. He took a liking to me, and then he became my manager. That was the best thing that happened because the position that he had, Norby Walters was like the unofficial mayor of Los Angeles, mayor of Hollywood, to be more specific. The man knew every actor, every producer, every celebrity and power broker in the entertainment business. How did you not fail being aligned with somebody like that? And when I met him, I started doing everything. I was playing casinos out in Vegas. I was on the flip side. I wasn't doing the stuff Run MC and Grandmaster Flash was doing. I was doing corporate parties and Jewish events and stuff that where rappers don't normally go, where white folks do that. And making a huge amount of money, and I was becoming an overnight celebrity in Los Angeles because I was always getting written up by Variety magazine, The Hollywood Reporter, and it was a glorious time.
Wow.
Doing all that.
What time period was this? 80s, 90s?
It was from the mid-'80s, and then the year where I really broke out was 1990. Because in 1990, the very first big project that I did was the Jetsons had a movie, and I got on the soundtrack. If you ever watched Jetsons the movie, one of the very last songs was called the Jetson Rap. That's what I did, and I was excited. To this day, that's what I'm still proud of. I mean, that's the iconic Jetsons.
Right.
I did a rap for the Jetsons the movie, and that was fantastic.
That's something to live forever, right there. So that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it will. Matter of fact, my wife was watching it about a month ago. I mean, it's a phenomenal thing to put on. If I ever write up my legacy on paper, that's a one big pinnacle. Then from then on, I'm getting to the part where I got the WWE. Then I'm gonna let you ask your next question.
Oh, that's right. Go ahead. Yeah, keep going. You're doing great.
After the Jetsons, this producer that I knew in Seattle, he had a production company where he would do like Vegas type shows with dancing girls and comedians, variety shows. And I knew him. His name was Greg Thompson. He was another mentor of mine. After I did the Jetsons, he said, "You know what? You got the Jetsons out. That's a big thing. I got a show running in Bermuda." And Bermuda, beautiful Bermuda, where it ain't nothing but a beach. It's 7-star hotels, and he was running a show at a 7-star hotel for the Southampton Princess. And he gave me a contract, flew me out there, and I was working in that show. So I lived in Bermuda for close to a year. I came back and I settled right back into, doing big things in Hollywood. I was rapping, opening things up at the Improv for guys like Adam Sandler and Jay Leno and Jerry Seinfeld and big comedy names. Some of the biggest comedy names ever. I probably opened up for them at the Improv or some other charity event or something else. I mean, it was phenomenal. I hooked up with my favorite comedian, who was the biggest comic in America at that time, Andrew Dice Clay. I saw him outside the Comedy Store, and I did this rap for him, and he asked me, how the F did you do that? I said, I don't know. So he had 8 shows running at the Laugh Factory, which was on Sunset Boulevard. What he did was he would do his show, he would call me on stage, and then I would rap the show out down. And everybody lost their mind, and then it was, I was like, oh my God, I'm with Andrew Dice Clay. I'm with Andrew Dice Clay right now.
That's you've had a crazy life, my man.
I'm eating pizza with Andrew Dice Clay, and I'm getting ready to go on stage with Andrew Dice Clay. This is nuts. I went with Andrew Dice Clay to Las Vegas. He played at Valley. Did the same thing. I was a huge fan when I went to Vegas playing craps. So the Caesars Palace playing craps. On the same day, coincidentally, that Vince McMahon and Macho Man Randy Savage were there, they were shooting vignettes. So WrestleMania 9 was coming up in 2 weeks. So I'm playing craps, and I see this big commotion in the casino, and I looked, and I see this guy with this crazy hat and his colorful outfit. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Macho Man Randy Savage. I gave the dice to the guy next to me, and I said, go rap for Randy Savage real fast. So I said, Mr. Savage, I got a singing telegram for you. He was like, okay, go ahead, brother. And then I did the rap, and I put Vince, I was like, no, Macho Man, no other wrestler, he can't ravage. Talk about Macho Man, Randy Savage, and then goes the man with the plan. Standing right there is Vince McMahon. And just on and on and on.
That's awesome.
Vince was like, his mouth was open. He was like, I want you to call me Monday at the WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. He said it as the elevator was closing, and he said it just like Stamford, Connecticut, just like you can't say it on TV. So that Monday, I woke up, I was like, okay, let's see, go get candles for the ladies, I gotta get milk, do some laundry, and oh yeah, that's right, talk to the man, right. So I call, now when I'm calling, I'm thinking, you know how people say call me, and they don't mean it, they just say, you know.
Yeah.
His secretary at the time was like, oh my God, yeah, this is exciting. He's been telling everybody about you. He's waiting for you to call. He's going to call you right back. He called me 10 minutes later on the plane.
Wow.
He said, I think that you would fit in here as a good manager. I see you as one of my managers. Let me get WrestleMania 9 behind me, and we will sort this out. And I was like, you mind if I get a couple of tickets to WrestleMania 9? He was like, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So I went back to Vegas, and yep, I had tickets made for me at WrestleMania 9. So I'm going up. They was like, no, your seats are down here. My seats was in this red carpeted VIP section, and they sat me down next to Luther Vandross.
Whoa.
What's the lady? I actually remember her name. Unforgettable.
Oh.
Story. I should remember the name. It comes to me. So anyway, yeah, so I enjoyed WrestleMania 9, went home, and about a month later, he called me, flew me to Stamford, Connecticut for a meeting. Mo and Mabel were there, and that's the rest of history.
So that was the first time you met Mo and Mabel. Okay.
Yeah, see, Vince didn't know at the time who he was going to put me with. I mean, I knew it was going to be somebody black because that made sense. I don't know if it was going to be Mr. or somebody like that, but nah, they took the time to wait. They had tape on Mo and Mabel from the USWA
Right.
in Memphis, and yeah, he got them out there, put us together, and Vince and Creative had already came up with the game plan already. They knew the kind of outfits they wanted us to wear. They had the name Men on a Mission, and they told us we were going to be Mabel, Oscar, and Mo.
So you start right at WWE, but were you always a fan of wrestling?
That's another story.
Yeah, okay.
So my stepfather had a knack of knowing on television what me and my brother would enjoy if he was watching it. So, you know, like one time he would call us in and sit us down and say, look at this. And it was Alvin Costello meets Frankenstein. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's Frankenstein, Dracula, the Wolfman. We love this. So one Saturday night at midnight, he called us in and sat us down. and wrestling was on. And that's when I fell in love. We all fell in love with wrestling. Bruno Sammartino and the Iron Sheik, Skandar Akbar and Andre the Giant, and the list goes on, and Bob Backlund, and we just fell in love with it. And then a couple of times he took us to Madison Square Garden to go see it live, and we had so much. We had nosebleed seats, but it was so much fun. Now, let me tell you why this is pinnacle, and now I'm going to bring in my best Howard Finkel story.
All right.
Howard Finkel was the announcer at Madison Square Garden when I was 9 or 10 years old. Used to go see it live, right? You hear Howard Finkel, ladies and gentlemen, Bruno Sammartino. I'm Howard Finkel, and I never forgot his name, but that's a Finkel. That's a strange name.
Yeah.
How about years later at WrestleMania 10, Imo and Mabel were going against the Quebecers for the titles, and it just hit me that night. I'm like, I used to watch this guy from the nosebleed seats with my father and my brother, and now he's getting ready to introduce me.
That's wild.
Any wrestler, and I would imagine that story is not so unique to me because every wrestler who ever used to go and hear the OGs being announced by Howard Finkel, and then Howard Finkel announcing their name, that's got to make you feel something, because it did. Because WrestleMania 10, when I came out that curtain, I could look up at the nosebleed seats, and I would imagine my father, brother, and me looking down at me now.
Yeah, and being from Brooklyn, too, and it's WrestleMania 10 at the Garden.
Yeah, I mean, and that was such a fun, because I got to do my first music video outside on location at the Garden prior to that, you know. And I mean, it was what I wanted, becoming a rapper 20 times over. I made it like Run DMC and Grandmaster Flash and all my idols, but I made it on the flip side in another way.
Yeah.
That had me stand apart from everybody else in the rap industry. And I come to find out that I'm respected a lot from those cats for doing it. Because my idols, Melly Mel, I saw him again down the line when I was still in, and he told me, like Chuck D of Public Enemy told me they were fans. I'm like, well, it's because of y'all that I'm doing what I'm doing. Matter of fact, I owe y'all 10 cents every dollar I ever made, because if it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't be doing this. Yeah, it's a great story when I look back on the annals of my life. I mean, it's been a wild ride. Well,
let me ask you this, because everything, doesn't all great, and obviously things aren't always easy. And I did hear now, you always hear about it from your perspective, the travel schedule back then. How was that?
Well, it's more to it than just the travel. Okay, that opens up a new line of answer.
Awesome.
The travel itself was, if anything, most people will tell you that the travel, the logistics of the travel is more exhausting and tiring than the actual work itself, because the schedule was relentless. Vince McMahon is at home in a $32 billion mansion, and he'll put you on the road 14 or much more days straight without no rest. And then they give you 4 days. They give you 4 days off, right? 4 days off. And before you could drop your bag when you get home, because I was way out on the West Coast at that time, back in California. I know one time, before I could put my bag down, my phone rang, and they said Shawn Michaels had to go to a wedding or something like that. We need to put you guys back on the road. I'm plane tickets waiting for you at the airport.
Wow.
I got home. But yeah, I mean, the trip, because, I mean, you're on the road, there's 365 days a year. You're on the road probably 290 or 300 of those. Give or take.
Sure. So I heard people say before that the wrestling and performing is the fun part. They pay you for the travel.
Well, yeah, no. They pay you. So, like any other recording artist, band, or act on the road, You get paid basically according to what they feel like your contribution is to the people coming, the ticket sales and the money generated. So if you're a top guy like Bret Hart was at the time, Bret Hart makes 100 times more money than me. I make good money, but Bret Hart was up there. Yeah, Lex Luger, that was up there. Yeah, Yokozuna, that was champ. So they were all in the main event all the time. So yeah, the money they were making was insane.
Before I talk about leaving WWE, what about the ribs? Any funny ribs? We always heard good stories about practical jokes and stuff about them. Anything you remember?
I was the king of getting ribs. I probably hold the record. Most ribs and most vicious ribs pulled.
Ooh.
The Steiner brothers were relentless when it came. I mean, these cats duct taped me to a urinal in the bathroom. I used to, my stuff used to be on the floor all the time, and sometimes guys wanted to fight me because they didn't think that I would fight back because I wasn't a wrestler. Don't forget my 30th birthday when they held me down and spanked my ass.
Oh my God.
30 hard licks, remember that? It's just a lot, but I wasn't the only one. I mean, Lex Luger used to have like these $2,000 suits, and from what I understand, he used to come back from the match and find his suits stapled to a wall.
Wow.
When the Luger Reigns first got the title, somebody stole the belt, and then they shit in her gym bag.
Yeah.
These guys wasn't just ribbon playing; they would do some malicious, mean, repugnant, awful stuff.
Yeah, so the ugly side of the ribs. You saw a lot of that then, huh?
Yeah. Somebody doing that in your bag. It don't get no worse than that.
Nah. Now, so you ended up leaving the wrestling. You left WWE. Take us through that. How did that come about? What made your decision to finally leave?
Well, okay. I was about burnt out. Maybe I needed about 3 months off. I could have got regenerized and came back. I was burnt out. I mean, 2 years and change, relentlessly on the road. But what came to a head was Men on a Mission was popular, a great babyface team with a lot of fans, and a really good positive gimmick. Now, throughout my early rap career, and the way I always lived my life positive. You know, you won't never saw me drunk because I don't drink, never had. You never see me smoking. And when it comes down to youth is my passion. Stay in school, stay out of drugs, and live your life positive. And I had a great platform being on television to impart that to a whole lot more kids than if I was just plain old, just plain old Greg, which is my real name. Well, what happened was the idea came to turn Men on a Mission heel. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to take us and turn us from babyface to heel, be a heel tag team. That didn't sit well with me for a few reasons. But number one, I know Vince knows what he's doing. He's the master at it. But I really felt strongly that, okay, they're going to turn everybody heel. And Matt and Mo maybe wanted to be heels. They never wanted to be babyface. That was their I thought that it was the wrong time to do that. That was my opinion. But what the thing was because of my positive stance and my positive stature, I was never going to go on television with those many people watching me and be negative. It just wasn't in me to do it, and that was the split. That's when I was pretty much done.
After WWE, did you do anything else with wrestling, or was that it? Did you move on to something else?
I left wrestling. And I went straight into radio. I was on one of the biggest radio shows in Chicago called Mancow's Morning.
Oh yeah. No kidding. Now I saw you. I want to say in 2017, you did a rap for Something to Wrestle With, like a live show with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad.
Okay, I was in Boston doing an interview.
Yeah, that's where I saw you in Worcester. So yeah, okay.
with a guy named Dan Moriarty. I was doing a TV thing, and he told me that next night that Bruce and Conrad, because I didn't even know, I knew Bruce Pritchard really well.
Mm-hmm.
I worked, Bruce was one of the top executives up there when I was there, so I knew Bruce really well. But he said, so Dan said, Bruce was doing his show at the House of Blues tomorrow night. He said, you should come up there and, and rap. And I was going to be in town, so I was down. So I went backstage and I saw Bruce, and Bruce knew I was coming to rap. Bruce was like, "Do you want you rapping over the show?" I was like, "Okay." So that's how that started. So from then on, I did about 10 of those. They were all a House of Blues. They were all sold out. And it was one of the biggest ways in 2017 for me to at least get my name really, really back out there.
Yeah, it was awesome. You did great, man. It was good seeing you there. It brought back a lot of memories. What are you doing anything right now? I know it's probably hard to do things right now with the damn virus out there, but,
Well, you know about COVIDCon coming up in here, right? Okay, yeah. Myself and Hurricane Shane Helms and a bunch of big names, and we're going to have, and this guy that came up with it, and Kenny Casanova, that did Kamala's book.
Okay.
They came up with an idea, since we can't really socialize right now, is to do a virtual virtual wrestling convention. The same way we do them, but we're going to do it all online. Q&As and interviews and all kinds of stuff like that, a whole bunch of activities that people can, look at safely at home, and, panels and all that stuff that you have at a convention, we're going to have it online. That's going to be May 2nd and 3rd. I think I'm on sometime on the 3rd. I just don't know the time yet, because they haven't told me what time I slotted. But Shockmaster is going to be on. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of big names that are going to be involved. I think Barry Darsow and Barry Darsow and them are going to be involved. Yeah, it's going to be huge, and it's going to be a virtual wrestling convention, and we're all part of this, and I'm going to be on May 3rd.
Awesome. We'll promote that when the episode drops. We'll put a link or something on Twitter, too. That's great, man.
Yes, it's called COVIDCon.
COVIDCon.
If you look up COVIDCon, Wrestling Mark at COVIDCon, and it'll give you all the details.
All right, man. Is there anything else you want to promote?
No, that's good for now. I mean, I don't know. As far as getting out, everything is so iffy right now. Things are on hold. So, hopefully we can get some semblance of normalcy back. Because me personally, I've been traveling a lot. I've been a consultant for a few things, and then a lot of by all of the big signings I've been at. Over the past 5 or 6 years, WrestleCon and WrestleFest and, all those kinds of things like that. You'd always come in, meet me, shake hands, swap stories, sign autographs, and all that other kind of things like that. So, I'm looking forward to getting back to that, because I enjoy traveling, when I want to travel, when I'm being home. And, I want to go and out and meet people and be with people and, and vacation and all that other kind of stuff like that. Those conventions afford you to do that. And so, yeah, that's I want to get back to that.
That's awesome. That's excellent.
Thank you, man.
Oh, my God. Listen, Oscar, thank you so much. You're an awesome storyteller. You got a great personality. You're very engaging. This was a real pleasure for me. Thank you.
All right, man. It was a pleasure talking to you. You guys can contact me anytime.
All right. Have a great night, man. Thanks again.
All right, so that wraps us up for this week. Thank you again for listening to the Working Fans Podcast. So as always, you can find us on Twitter at FansWorking. Our Facebook page is Working Fans Wrestling Pod. We have email where you can reach out to us and let us know what you think also. That's workingfanswrestlingpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, workingfanswrestling_pod. And then as always, please continue to listen to us on Anchor.fm, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, all your major platforms. If you're following us on Apple Podcasts, which we are also on now, and YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. It helps us bring you these podcasts where we get to talk to you and talk with you every week.